Hey there. Ready to dive into some fascinating research?
Let's do it.
You sent us this article about gender and star performance.
Yeah, from the Journal of Organizational Behavior. A Star is Born or Not, Understanding the Star Emergence Gender Gap by Julia B. Baer,
Okay.
Len Trevino,
Trevino.
and Herman Aginnis.
Guinness, all right.
It really digs into why women are so underrepresented at the very top levels of performance.
The top performers, the stars.
Exactly, those folks who drive a disproportionate amount of results.
Okay, so before we get into the why, let's define what we mean by star performer.
Good point. What sets these people apart?
Yeah.
Well, star performers consistently deliver exceptional results.
So not just high achievers.
Right. Significantly exceeding their peers.
They've got that extra something.
It's a unique combo of skills, knowledge, and drive that lets them make a real impact.
Got it. So they're not just high achievers, they're in a league of their own.
Definitely.
Now back to the gender gap.
Right.
What does this article tell us about why we're not seeing more women reach that star status?
The authors say it's not about women lacking talent or ambition.
It's more systemic then.
Yeah, they propose this model based on performance insulation.
Performance insulation.
It refers to these hidden barriers that hinder women's progress.
I like that term. It really captures the idea that there are these subtle obstacles
Exactly.
preventing women from reaching their full potential.
Yeah, and they break down the star emergence process into two stages.
Two stages.
Okay. Initial and advanced.
So the initial stage, what's the focus there?
It's all about developing those key things early on.
Like what?
You know, knowledge, skills, and abilities.
Okay, the KSA.
Crucial for early career success.
Makes sense. You need that foundation to build upon.
For sure.
What kind of insulators might women encounter in this initial stage?
One of the first is access to vicarious deliberate practice.
Vicarious. Okay.
Which basically means learning by observing a star mentor.
So like a role model.
Right, but men often have more access to those mentors.
Is that because most of the mentors are men?
Could be. Yeah, it's tied to homophily.
Homophily. Remind me what that is.
It's that tendency to gravitate towards those similar to ourselves.
Ah, so if most star mentors are men, they're more likely to mentor other men.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. And then there's feedback.
Oh, feedback is crucial.
It is, and research shows men tend to receive more task-specific feedback.
So feedback that actually helps them improve their performance.
Right, critical stuff. But women, they often get feedback focused on their personality.
Like how they come across, not their actual work.
Exactly, their interpersonal style rather than their output.
So frustrating, like smile more instead of concrete advice.
Right, not helpful. And then there's the issue of time.
Time, yeah, that's a big one.
Always is. Women often have less time for deliberate practice.
Less time for honing their skills.
Yeah, expanding their knowledge.
It's because they have more responsibilities outside of work.
Right, things like childcare and household tasks.
It's like a hidden tax on their time.
You got it, even if they don't have kids yet.
Yeah, just anticipating those future demands can be a factor.
It influences how they prioritize their careers.
That makes sense.
And, you know, research shows that even when women have the time and dedication,
They're still facing obstacles.
they don't always get the same opportunities as men
Like what kinds of opportunities?
to tackle challenging, high-profile tasks.
Ah, the kind that can make someone stand out as a potential star.
Exactly.
So if women are being protected from these challenges,
Right. Or worse, they're given invisible work.
stuff that doesn't help them get ahead.
Exactly. They're automatically at a disadvantage.
When it comes to showcasing their talent, their potential,
Unfortunately, that's often the reality.
it's a tough situation.
And then there's competition,
Competition, right?
especially in those high-stakes environments where stars emerge.
So competition can be motivating,
It can, for sure.
but it can also be super stressful, especially on top of all these other barriers we're talking about.
Yeah, you've already got those challenges.
So how does this whole competition thing play into the gender gap?
Well, research suggests that men and women might respond differently to highly competitive environments.
Interesting. How so?
Men often thrive in those settings.
They like that pressure cooker atmosphere.
It seems like it, but women, they often value collaboration more.
That's how they're socialized.
Right, so they might find that cutthroat competition demotivating.
Makes you wonder if we need to rethink how we approach competition at work,
I think so, if we want the best talent rising to the top.
regardless of gender,
Absolutely, we need systems and cultures that allow everyone to shine.
to support a diversity of approaches, right?
You got it.
So, to recap, we've got limited access to mentorship, biased feedback,
Right.
time constraints, unequal access to opportunities,
All contributing.
and this potentially negative impact of competition. It's easy to see why fewer women are making it to that star performer level.
It paints a pretty clear picture, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty sobering.
And what's more concerning is these barriers don't exist in isolation.
Meaning,
They compound over time, creating what the authors call the insulation cycle.
the insulation cycle. Oh boy, that sounds ominous.
It is. We'll get into that next.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's dive into this insulation cycle and see what it's all about.
It's like this vicious cycle.
Okay.
Where those initial barriers we talked about, lack of access to practice, the biased feedback,
Yeah?
and just not having enough time,
Time constraints,
they
right?
all kind of build up on each other.
Reinforce each other
Exactly. And it ultimately holds women back
from reaching their full potential.
from becoming those star performers.
It's like they're constantly swimming upstream,
I like that.
battling these invisible currents,
That's a great way to put it.
pulling them back.
And even if women manage to overcome those initial hurdles,
They're not out of the woods yet.
not even close, they face a whole new set of barriers
In the advanced stage.
in the advanced stage.
So this is for those who've already proven themselves, right? They're already high performers.
They're on that track.
On the path to stardom.
But the challenges change.
How so?
It becomes less about developing their skills
Okay.
and more about how they're perceived
So how others see them.
and how they're evaluated.
By their superiors, their colleagues.
By everyone, really.
But KSAs, those are already there, right?
Established, yeah.
But now they're dealing with these different insulators. So what are some of these barriers that women might encounter in this later stage?
One big one is biased evaluation standards.
Okay, we like to think evaluations are objective,
We do.
but that's not always the case.
It's not. The reality is they're often influenced by unconscious bias.
What do you mean by biased evaluation standards?
So imagine two people,
Okay,
a man and a woman,
same job, same level.
identical performance records.
Got it.
Research suggests evaluators might unconsciously demand more evidence from the woman.
To prove she's deserving of that recognition.
Yeah, exactly. Like she has to work twice as hard.
To be considered half as good.
It's a frustrating reality.
It's like there's this invisible bar
There is.
that keeps getting raised higher and higher for women.
And it ties back to those societal stereotypes,
Like the think manager, think male phenomenon.
That one, the think star, think men idea
If men already fit the mold,
of what a star performer should be.
they're given the benefit of the doubt more easily
It seems that way, even if their performance isn't actually better.
than their female counterparts.
Right.
So it's not just about proving your competence, it's fighting against these ingrained biases
It's an uphill battle.
that shape how your work is perceived.
Right, it's evaluated, yeah.
It's disheartening.
It is. And on top of that,
There's more.
women at this stage, they often face negative interpersonal behavior.
From colleagues, supervisors,
Anyone who might feel threatened by their success.
like they're being punished for doing well.
It can feel that way. They become targets of envy.
Incivility, maybe even sabotage.
It happens, and it creates this hostile environment,
That can be so demotivating.
especially for women who are already dealing with those biased evaluations.
So it's not just those internal barriers anymore.
It's not
It's managing those external pressures, too.
those perceptions people have.
Exhausting.
It can be. And then we factor in those extra work demands.
Like childcare, housework,
All of that, especially for women in mid-careers.
when they might also have more family responsibility.
Exactly, juggling it all.
How does this play into the gender gap in star performance?
Well, think about the opportunities that come up at this stage.
Like promotions
Promotions, leadership positions.
and career moves.
But they often clash with those family responsibilities.
Especially for women who tend to shoulder more of that caregiving burden.
It's true, they have to make these tough choices,
Pursue the high visibility opportunity
which could mean more travel, more hours,
and risk neglecting their families
or prioritize family.
and potentially sacrifice their career goals.
It's a no-win situation sometimes.
A real dilemma.
And research shows that partner support is key here
Having a supportive partner makes a huge difference.
in helping women navigate these challenges
Women with partners who share the load,
at home and with career aspirations.
they're more likely to reach those top positions.
So it's not just about individual talent anymore.
It's about having that support system.
It takes a village to raise a star performer.
It really does.
So when we consider all these insulators, The biased evaluations, the negativity.
That's work demands, yeah.
It's not surprising that fewer women emerge as stars,
It's a tough road.
even after showing so much potential early on.
They face an uphill battle.
It's like they're running a marathon with weights on their ankles.
While their male counterparts get a head start,
It's a powerful image.
we need to recognize these barriers
If we want to create a truly level playing field,
where the best talent rises to the top, no matter their gender. So what can organizations do to combat these systemic disadvantages?
there are things they can do.
Tell me more. What are some solutions to break this cycle of performance insulation? What can organizations do to combat these systemic disadvantages?
There are things they can do.
Tell me more. What are some solutions to break this cycle of performance insulation?
Remember when we talked about diversity goals?
Yeah, those company-wide initiatives for inclusivity.
Right. When companies really prioritize diversity, it can actually lead to more equitable access to opportunities.
So everyone
Exactly. And fairer evaluation processes.
has bias.
And just a more supportive environment overall.
That's encouraging.
Yep.
So diversity initiatives can make a difference.
They can, especially in that initial stage.
Okay, early on.
It helps break that cycle of disadvantage.
That keeps women from even getting on the path to stardom.
Exactly. But their impact might be less in the advanced stage.
So as women progress in their careers,
It gets trickier, yeah.
what can organizations do in those later stages then?
When diversity goals alone aren't enough.
Right, to combat those more subtle forms of bias.
This is where sponsorship becomes super important.
Sponsorship, okay.
A sponsor is someone powerful within the organization
Someone with influence.
who really advocates for their protege's advancement.
Not just mentoring, but really going to bat for them.
Exactly. They open doors, challenge those biased evaluations.
Protect them from negativity.
They're truly invested in their protege's success.
It's like having a high-powered mentor who's clearing a path for you.
That's a great way to put it. And research shows it can make a huge difference for women.
So it helps level the playing field.
It does. It ensures those talents and contributions are recognized.
What about those extra work demands, though?
Those societal expectations that often hit women harder.
Can organizations really do anything about that?
It's tricky. They can't control everything.
Right. People have lives outside of work.
But they can create a more supportive and flexible culture,
What does that look like?
offering things like on-site childcare, generous parental leave,
Flexible work arrangements.
all of that to help employees balance work and family.
It's recognizing that supporting employees' well-being benefits everyone,
Exactly. And by promoting work-life balance for everyone,
not just women.
it creates a more equitable and supportive environment.
It sounds like dismantling those barriers to star performance requires a multi-pronged approach.
It does.
Individual awareness, organizational action.
And a real cultural shift.
Hey, look,
You got it. And it's an ongoing process.
not a one-time fix.
It requires constant attention, challenging the status quo
A commitment to creating a more inclusive environment.
for everyone.
Well, this deep dive has been eye-opening.
It's been great talking about this.
We've unpacked a lot of complex issues surrounding women in star performance.
Really dug into the research
Hopefully this conversation has given you a better understanding of the challenges women face.
and sparked some ideas.
But awareness is just the first step.
Now it's time to take action.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle
There's always more to learn.
about gender and star performance
But understanding these insulators,
and taking steps to mitigate their impact.
that's how we create a workplace where everyone can shine.
Well said. So everyone listening, check out the full article by Baer, Trevino, and McGinnis in the Journal of Organizational Behavior.
It's a great read.
It'll really make you think. And if you're in a position to influence change,
In your own organization,
start those conversations, challenge those biases,
create a more equitable and inclusive environment.
where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential.
That's the goal.
Until next time, happy learning.